What's happening, everybody?
Hello.
Ish is the key word to all podcasts.
Ish? What time is it?
7-ish.
7:20.
7:20 is an ish. We just got done recording The Bar is Open with Beth and Greg. Married Life. What the fuck did I call it?
Based on a real story.
Based on a real story.
Based on a true story.
Based on a true story. God damn it. Married Life based on a true story. So yeah, we're actually doing a fun little fucking side gig over here. I'm trying to get this thing to come up on my
So I'm laughing because
Why are you laughing?
One of my girlfriends is getting ready to go to the coast, but she just put a picture of that scorpion thing.
Oh, the whip scorpion
And
thing
I said,
from Texas?
Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, she goes, "Why acid shooting whip scorpions," and they're not scorpions though. She said, "Side note, why the fuck is this guy necessary?" And I said, "LOL, we just talked about him on Wednesday."
Yep. Because, you know.
And they talked to him about him. It must have been the same day you found it, because they were talking. They gave a little bit more information. Like, he's not a scorpion. I forget what they call him. They called him something other than what you called him, but
I call it a spider. It's like a scorpion spider. Spider scorpion.
they called him. He spits that acid shit is what freaks me out the most.
But it's based on. So we did.
They
talk
said it
about
was
this.
80% something else and 20%
vinegar. It's like vinegar based. It's almost like the thing can fucking make its own vinegar. It's the weirdest fucking thing.
I guess it blinds you if it gets in your eye. Have you ever gotten vinegar? I have not.
No, I've never.
Okay, but
Let's get into this. What's happening, Reed? What's going on? Logan, Ruben, what's happening, guys? D, what's going on?
Hello,
we are
gents and
finally
lady.
paying attention to everybody. Just took me a second there. But yeah, we just recorded episode 2 of Married Life,
Right.
a true story, based on a true story.
Right.
So it's just kind of funny shit that we've gone through in our lives that we're just going to we'll put it out and it'll be a 12-part series. And if you guys remember on the Ross, there's a very specific reason we're doing 12 episodes.
Right.
So if you guys remember when
On the
Ross,
100th episode.
Ross Patterson was on our 100th episode, and he said very specifically, it's like this, you don't know this until somebody fucking tells you, is basically like you drop 12 episodes all at one time on iTunes or whatever, and it actually helps you out in the charts. So we're recording. We're gonna give it a shot and see what fuck, because it's kind of like it's nothing that's like topical, like current events.
Right.
It's just
it's
our
just
lives,
us.
and it's kind of fucking fun.
And it's not because we think it's so great. I just think that we like reminiscing about it, and we also think that
we don't have any special lives or anything. like
No,
that.
but if we can share best practices, I don't even want to say best practices. Like, if our stories help you in any
Maybe.
way,
Fuck, why not?
today's was funny because we laughed and we cried.
We cried. We
I didn't
both
expect to
laughed
cry.
and cried. Yeah.
I did. I got and I told Greg, I was like, "Here's the problem."
I got teared up. Yeah, because we're talking about like real
Us.
shit.
Well, we're
Yeah.
talking about like stuff that was monumental in our life.
Yeah.
But I said, "Here's the problem." First of all, I ugly cry. I'm ugly AF when I cry, and I can't talk because my throat gets
Choked
tight.
up. You
Yeah, I
choked
get
up.
tight,
Yeah.
and I'm like, and then I sound funny, and I'm like, "Oh, girl, quit with that shit." Luckily, a tear did not fall. I pulled it in.
Right.
I reined it in.
It's all good. DJ, what's happening? But you know what? It really, it's kind of
50 Shades of Beth.
it,
Next week, brother.
next week.
Or the
No,
next episode.
The next episode, episode 3. It's all about porn.
Well,
And
there's
Beth
some
goes-
things like
And I go, it's our porn episode. And Beth goes, sex. And I go, porn. And she goes, sex.
sex. It's about
So
sex.
yeah,
And
literally.
then we settled on sex and porn.
And that's not going to be about like it's not our timeline or anything. It's just
No.
us talking
Talking
about.
about,
some
there are two things though I want to throw in though that we mentioned tonight that we need to throw in somewhere.
Are you talking about the San Francisco or the San Diego trip?
No,
The hotel. We'll talk about that next time. No, we won't talk about that next time. We'll talk about that off air.
right.
'Cause
Okay.
goddamn, that would.
I don't remember what you're talking about.
Yeah. Think.
I don't want to know what you're talking about with that face. Anyways.
That's all good. But welcome to Beth and Greg. The bar is open. We already said that. But let's jump into the shit. Home improvements fucking suck.
I love them when you do it though. It's very entertaining for me.
Dude. So we had a couple drippy faucets in our master bath. Oh my God. what it does is it makes you not like. I hate the prior owners. Like, why
Well-
couldn't those motherfuckers? I don't think he would have fit under the sink because
Oh,
he's
he's a
not a
big
big
dude.
fat guy. He's
He
just a
was
big dude.
bulky.
Like,
He's bigger. He's wider than you are, and it's
Like,
not that you're a
how
small
in the
dude.
shit-
But
can you expect
well, here's the problem. So we've got the typical.
vanity,
Double
the
sink.
old school? It's like
And
from
it's got the
19
one
or
door.
2000.
It's
Yeah.
got the one door and the two drawers. But
On each side,
between
it's got the
those,
little one.
there's a board that makes the drawer space.
I wanted to murder you, the dogs,
But I brought you tacos.
all the birds in the neighborhood, the squirrels, and I wanted to kill everything.
And I got back from getting tacos. I'm like, did you die from swearing yet? Because all I heard was, God,
Dude,
stupid.
I was just replacing. So it's funny that, like, okay, so homeownership is fucking, it's a blast, right? And everybody goes through this shit. And, like,
It's a lot of work.
Lloyd, I've seen, like, some pictures. Like, he's redoing his entire fucking house, right? Like,
Brave.
brave heart.
He's doing it
Yeah.
himself.
So I mean, I think so. Like, he's probably got an electrician in coming to it, but he's doing a lot of the work, right? And I've seen some pictures of him. But I'm like, painting, like, I understand
it's
you're
funny.
saving money on this shit.
Because one of the things I thought about was we should paint that bathroom. And I was like, Greg will murder me if I suggest that with what he's going through with these faucets right now.
Faucets are done. I will literally burn the house down
They look good.
before I have to replace another
You did
fucking
a
faucet.
fantastic
I've replaced
job.
the shower head.
Yes.
Replaced, which is
Shower head was
pat
easy.
on my back. No,
Shower head was
but
easy.
this one was. It was just gross, and it was gross.
What's a sink? You wash your face and brush your
But
teeth.
underneath the little fucking faucet,
Yeah.
I don't know how 20 years of shit can get underneath that little fucking thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's gross.
What part under the?
So the faucet, the part that sits on the counter.
Yeah. Oh, when you took
shit
it off,
gets in there.
water gets in there.
Now.
Was
it's
mine
more
like
than wa-
that or just yours?
Oh, no, both. What do you mean?
I don't know. You didn't say that until you did yours.
They're both gross.
Yeah. Well, now we have new ones. And the faucet part swivels, so
What's up,
you
Nick?
can move
How you
it.
doing, man?
You can move it as you need to.
I'm just saying. Yeah, but we got some new Mowens.
Yeah.
They're nice.
They're
The second one definitely went faster than the first
yes.
one.
Yeah, much faster.
I think it's also because, like,
You knew what you were not that you didn't know what you were
No.
doing, but you understood the logistics of being under this particular
I got a scratch
vanity.
on my elbow, guys.
Wah. Some sand, put some dirt on it. Not sand.
It's like,
dirt.
you were gonna be like, put some sand on your vagina.
Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna
Yeah.
say? You're a dick.
I know, but you're a bitch, so it's all right. Put some dirt on it and get over it.
I hate you and love you at the same time.
I know. That's why I'm so special. But you did good. They look good. And the little, I don't know what you call the part that the water
Siobhan,
comes
what's
out,
happening?
but they move. It moves, so you
Yeah,
can
it's
move it out
it's
of your
almost
way.
like it's not just a fixed faucet.
No,
You did a good job picking those out.
thanks. They're
Yeah.
scratched. What do you
They're
call that?
brushed.
They're brushed.
Yeah.
Brushed silver, right?
Chrome or whatever.
Whatever.
The fuck it is. I don't give a fuck.
But it's funny because when you do one thing, so when you do the faucet, you have to change
every other
towel
fucking
holder,
thing in there.
towel holder over there. And we discovered that when he went to go remove the current holder by the sink, because we each have one by
Towel
the
hol-
sink,
you know,
towel
the little
holder by
rings or
each
whatever.
side. The one we got is smaller, and the paint, you can see where the paint color is different under where they just painted around it versus
And it's
moving
the
it.
original paint from
But can't you just take a
2000.
picture? I thought technology was good enough where you could just take a picture of the color and take it to Home Depot. I'm a Home Depot person, not a Lowe's. Take it to Home Depot and show them the picture, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we can put that together for you."
I think so. I don't know. There's people.
Just people.
All I
People are
need
the
is this
people.
much paint. Like this much paint. I just need to go. It's all good. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are having a great night. Just fucking hanging out. Tonight, we're going early. We didn't go last night
It's
because
fast.
there was the fights
The bare
that
knuckle.
were happening, the bare knuckle boxing. I figured a lot of people were going to be on watching that and stuff
You
like
watched
that.
it, right? Did you get a
I
chance to watch
caught
some
part
of it?
but we can jump ahead to that.
So,
yeah.
okay, did Ross win or lose his bet?
Nope. So that's a later fight.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, I thought it was
So
last night.
that's the $10,000 bet he has with Paige Van Zandt. So I caught the last two fights.
Okay.
I found it just random, like somebody was restreaming it on Facebook Live, basically, and I just fucking search it. You can find all sorts of shit on Facebook Live, right?
Right.
Paige Van Zandt, the girl he bet,
Right.
lost her fight,
Aw.
but it was it's an interesting
So
thing.
she's a bare knuckle fighter?
Yeah.
Ow.
So she's also an MMA fighter, right?
Okay.
So it's interesting. And I don't know, what do you guys think? I don't know. They were really good. There was like the final fight. I think they're like the rounds are too short. There were 2-minute rounds, I think. And they just seemed like they were were they 3-minute? Maybe I thought they were 2-minute rounds, but they just went by way too quick, it seemed like. Right. And granted, they're not taking each other down. There's no takedowns. It's just punching each other in the face.
How long is a regular boxing match?
Like the rounds are 3 minutes.
And the MMA is 3 minutes.
3 minutes, right? It just seemed that 1 minute, it just seemed like they get into a rhythm, punch each other.
And then it's over.
And it's over. Like the round's over.
Right.
So I had never seen like a bare knuckle boxing match before, aside from maybe like on a YouTube. Like
I mean, I've seen
what do you got?
Sherlock Holmes. He bare knuckle fought in that movie.
Well, that was just like fighting. Right?
I mean, that's kind of what this is.
Yeah, that's just like fist fighting. It's like Irish guys beating the shit out of each other, right? But the one thing that kind of irritated me on that Paige Van Zandt fight, though, is the other girl was unanimous decision winner. And I don't know if I agree with that necessarily.
Right.
But she still won. And it was like 127 to 130 or whatever the scores are, right?
Yeah.
She just fucking walked off.
The girl did? That one?
Paige Van Zandt. No, the other girl. Like, there was no...
Congratulations.
It's kind of... I understand, like, you can be...
Pissed off,
but, like, the sportsmanship part of it kind of was, like...
important.
And it's interesting because...
Maybe they don't like each other.
Yeah. The other girl... So, Logan said the other girl definitely earned her win by... Yeah. Dude, and I kind of thought that, too. She brought the fight to Paige Van Zandt, right? So, I don't know. Brian had Krusty, our buddy Krusty, had watched or had seen an episode with or a podcast with her on it, and was like, she's bitchy, like she's like kind of. But we watched it
McGregor
on
of females.
I don't know, but she was on the Drinking Bros podcast last week, and she seemed cool as shit, and that's where the $10,000 bet.
Maybe it's the people. Maybe it depends on who she's with.
I don't know. It was interesting, though. So
maybe they don't like each other.
But Drinking Bros did something the first it ever had happened.
What's
Drinking
that?
Bros podcast is a live stream the podcast and the show and did like commentary.
Oh, you mean the fight and the podcast?
Did basically like a pay-per-view
right
through the Drinking Bros show.
Okay.
Which was kind of cool as shit, right?
All right?
We didn't get it. We were busy as fuck doing other shit.
Right.
But to those that did, looked pretty cool. So anyway.
That was a really big sip.
Just chugging.
I didn't mean to. I got carried away.
Just chugging. How much is too much for like?
Okay, so I know what you ask your question.
So last week Wednesday we talked about how much is too much for a TV.
Right.
And it was like what, fucking 100,000
was.
How much is too much for a fucking trash can?
So let's think about this because trash cans for your home they are expensive considering they're a trash can.
Okay.
They're upwards of around $200 depending upon anywhere from $100 to $200 if you get like the stainless steel ones.
Did you Google this shit?
No, I've bought them.
Oh. How much was our trash can?
Like 100? I think it was on sale for 100. They're expensive.
Have you ever spend that much money on a trash
I'm
can?
about to do Bed Bath and Beyond and be like, how much?
So, how about $20,000 a piece?
I'm sorry, what?
San Francisco is doing. Leave it to San Francisco to get all fucking dumb, right? Keep an eye out for these 3 new public trash can prototype designs throughout the city later this year. They
work on their crime instead.
Well, I'm like, aren't they allowed to shit in the street there and piss like on Nancy Pelosi's front doorstep? I'm fairly certain, right? Yet they're gonna spend $20,000. And granted, the price they say.
Okay, so why are they so special?
Okay, so they're considering some new public trash cans, but it won't be cheap. San Francisco Department of Public Works could spend $20,000 a piece for 15 prototype trash cans. 15 trash cans, $20,000 a piece. Right? The prototypes are a part of the $537,000 pilot program. The city is considering to replace more than 3,000 public trash cans throughout the city. They basically want to give the option to do like the recycle side and then the trash side. Motherfuckers are gonna the meth heads up there.
Wait, so the one trash can is gonna have both,
like every other city in the entire like.
Oh,
like
they're
Starbucks.
gonna have 2 different. Oh, yes. Okay, so they're not.
It all falls into the same.
Yeah,
trash.
they're like public.
It's literally
trash
a trash can.
Right.
right?
Like
So,
Starbucks does, like work does, like a lot of
everywhere
places.
does, right? So the city is testing 3 prototype designs in its pilot program, along with the already available models. Durable, hard to tamper with. Who the fuck tampers with
Homeless people,
looking for cans?
food,
Okay, so they need to
food
eat.
and cans, cigarette butts,
Why would you do that?
because they can't afford
Oh,
cigarettes. So they're
halfies. They're smoking the halfies.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably why. And they have a huge homeless population.
So durable, hard to tamper with, and easy to service, and aesthetically pleasing.
Service. How do
They
you
are
service a trash can?
fucking trash cans.
Clean it, maybe. Yeah. So I looked. Kitchen trash cans are anywhere from like a stainless steel 100 to 300. I'm not paying $300 for a trash can ever. Ever.
Why would you?
I still
the one with the door. Every single friend that I have that has had
oh,
that
the
one,
automatic
goes, that fucking thing dies.
breaks. Yep.
No matter what.
Yep.
Like, just buy a fucking trash can with a little steppy
Step
thing.
on it, and sometimes those even break.
Yeah. And then that's when you go buy a new fucking trash can.
Right.
Right?
Knock on wood, ours hasn't broken, and we got it
And it's gross. And I
5 years
actually
ago.
kinda wanna throw
Well,
it
the
away.
cleaning lady cleans it now.
Yeah, weird. Right?
I love it. She cleans that, and she cleans
The
the
recycling
cycle bin.
That lady.
She's way worth more than what we pay her.
Yeah. If you need a number, you're in San Antonio, right?
She's amazing. I love her.
I'm just saying, like, 20 grand.
It's just, I
And granted,
mean,
they said it'll come down, but like, honestly,
what do you mean
if
it'll
it's
come
worth,
down? Like once
like,
they
the
start
price,
getting
'cause you're gonna
more?
buy volumes, right?
Well, but
Who's the architect's like? This is the one.
so here's the
This
thing. So
is
city
the
planner is the one who probably selected it, and you have no idea if your city planner is any good until down the road you're like, that was a stupid idea. Like at the moment, it seems brilliant. So let's talk about the city planner for
It's
San
your
Antonio.
22-year-old, 3-year-old, fresh out of college city planner.
Let's talk about the city planner for San Antonio, who just got kicked out of her position, like when the elections happened, made like $1.5 million a year.
What?
And she's the one, yeah, ridiculous. She's the one who planned 1604, a two-lane highway. I mean, a two-lane highway, I guess is what you would call
Oh, the
it.
shitty highway we
Yeah,
out
that
here?
they're now spending another gazillion dollars to widen both sides.
It'll take
She planned that.
47 years.
I want to say she was the city planner for like 4 or 5 years. Like
She made a bunch
she
of
had
money.
a cush
Okay,
job,
whatever.
and I don't think she ever thought she was going to lose it. And people were like, "Fuck this shit! This
Real
bitch needs to
quick,
get her stuff together."
Shout out to modern mountaineer.
You got to put your laptop down. Oh no, they can see it.
Little RPR nooner shirt.
That's the white shirt
here.
you wore last week when we
Yep,
went to
that
dinner
was
too.
last one. So just
That shirt
shout
looked
out.
really good on you. Everybody commented about so big.
Some
You're stud muffin.
studly.
I like
Studly
stud muffin.
do right.
Stupid.
Yep.
Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like a good idea now. Will it still that?
No, because meth heads are just going to steal it and fucking
Well-
scrap those things. They're going to figure out a way to steal them. Fuck those guys. Hey, did you know you're old as fuck?
Me?
Like all of us.
I was like, beg your pardon?
You know the laughy emoji?
Fast as fuck, boy.
You know the laughy emoji?
Yeah.
The one with the crying eyes.
Yeah. Old people use that.
So they call that the tears of joy emoji.
It's gone now.
Well, no. Even so I
The
don't get
skull. I use it in the Slack for work. I use the dancing parrot that has a sombrero on.
I use a dancing badger.
There's a dancing badger. I haven't seen that.
Yep.
I did use the dancing ghost for a while, but I really like the dancing parrot with a sombrero.
But it's in Slack, so if you don't know what the fuck we're talking about, sorry.
I am.
Bad news for people who frequently use the
I
cry,
use it a lot. I
laughy
use it a lot.
tears of joy emoji. It's no longer cool. The
But
funniest,
isn't it cool to be uncool now?
nope, the funniest whole line of this is gonna like if Ian. I hope Ian's watching this because
I think he has company. Probably not.
I don't know, but if he's not, we're gonna call Ian out because it's the funniest thing. So what's wrong with the laughing emoji? One user asked in a TikTok comment. I don't have TikTok, so
Yes, you do.
do I?
Yes. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to watch
It's
or
on
post
Fa-
TikToks.
No, I don't post TikToks.
You do. You were trying to for a while.
I don't remember. God damn it. So on a different video of a woman saying she cut back on using it after learning kids don't, one teen commented, "As a 15-year-old, I say you should use that emoji because I don't know what the fuck. The funniest
Wait, what,
fucking
no,
line.
keep reading it. What did she say? Because the rest of us might understand what
Really?
she said.
I don't know.
Somebody may have a 15-year-old be like, bitch, that's what she meant.
I gotta find it again. God damn it.
So unprofessional. What am I
Right?
going to do?
Okay, so as a 15-year-old, I say you should use that emoji because we sure aren't going to.
We sure aren't going to. We ain't going to.
But I'm like, you're 15.
You know nothing. But hey, you think you do. Godspeed. You think you can fix all the world's problems at 15, babe? Don't you know? Don't you remember that? I remember that. I'd be like, I'm gonna stop homelessness and hunger.
Worldwide.
I'm gonna bring peace to the world.
For many Gen Zers, the skull emoji.
What age is Gen Z?
I don't
That's
know.
like,
But evidently, Gen Zs are like millennials are old. They're like millennials are fucking
well,
old as
even
shit.
Gen Zs are gonna be pretty old now because
Which
there's
means
a new gen.
So the skull. So this is for the.
So the skull is the cool kid thing now.
Yep. So I'm
Well,
gonna start
why?
using
The
that
skull
from now.
isn't that skull
Because
like
it means
mean death?
I'm dead. I'm dead. It's
That was so funny.
I'm
I'm dead. So funny. I died.
I'm dying.
Dying inside.
Dying.
So for me, dying inside meant you were miserable. That something bad happened and you were sad. That's what it meant when I grew up.
Yeah.
I'm dying inside. It's so bad.
I don't know.
I just cried as well as The Rock did in San Andreas
Yeah.
last night when I watched it. I was like, bitch, where's your tears? Huh. Well, in that same note, I guess Microsoft, is it 360? Is bringing back the paper clip,
I saw that.
but he's going to have a face now. He's going to have eyes. And I guess the clip makes the smiley face part. I'm like,
Didn't he before?
no, it was just a paper clip.
No.
Nope.
There was paperclip, but he had like. Didn't
They
he
showed
have
it.
something
They showed it. It was just a paper clip, and now this one has the paper clip with eyes.
before? I swear to God, that he was like in the corner. Maybe it was something different. It was like he had like a little. There was that little asshole. Sorry, he didn't have an asshole.
I was like,
I'm trying to
what?
do two things.
that doesn't work for you. So they showed it. He did not have a face, but they are bringing him back, and he is going to be an emoji now.
All right, so this is the funniest part of this.
Okay.
For Gen Z, it's like the same thing as having an Android.
Huh?
Using that smiley face.
Is an Android bad?
Yeah.
What's cool? iPhones? My niece has an Android.
So last night, Ian was trying to be like, no.
I'm cool.
These things take so much better pictures and they do all this stuff. And I'm like,
Android users swear by their phone, just like Apple users swear by their iPhones. I mean, it's pride and ownership, dude. Would you literally say, my phone sucks? I would never say that. I would never, ever. If my phone sucked, I would never admit my phone sucked because then I'm just a loser with a capital L.
Paige's on. What's happening, Paige?
Paige, did you just hear Androids aren't cool anymore?
Nick said, Android are for the poor. Poor people, according to Ross. I was going to go there. I just hadn't yet.
So you guys know this is our first Saturday without Paige and Jared. They moved to
Paige and Jared moved
They
to
moved to
Wisconsin,
Wisconsin.
where it's cold as fucking shit.
It was 65 was the high, you said,
Something
right?
like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Girl.
Good luck.
Gotta
Godspeed.
buy some coats. Buy them now before it gets
I
cold.
didn't think you were going to say buy some Coke.
Buy some Coke. Yeah, do some Coke.
I don't know. Brangelina. Back
Oh.
in the news.
All right. So
So this
I
is
almost
on you.
Googled it. I almost Googled
Do
this.
you really care?
It-
Is it a big deal?
It's not that I care. It's more of the
What the fuck?
yeah. So they were together 12 years.
Were they really?
They were together 12 years. They were only married 2.
That Jen, I would have stayed with. But see, Angelina Jolie was so fucking. She was probably a freak for a while.
And she
After
was really
coming-
pretty then before
After
she got
coming
too
off the
skinny.
Billy Bob Thornton, like the blood thing
The
and all
blood
that
vials.
stuff, right? And you go like, this chick's probably banging, like doing some crazy shit.
I don't know.
And then she went.
And sometimes she's really pretty. Like she's hot. Well, Jen was cute. Like
Jen's
to me,
hot as fuck. Yeah, no.
that's his fuck boy. Sorry, every time I hear fuck right now, that's what goes through my head. Too much TikTok time. That's his fuck boy.
I don't even know what that means. Where is that reference to?
It's like when anybody's running, like sometimes they'll do it with dogs that are like going crazy and they'll just be like, that's his fuck boy over and over and over
Jesus
again
Christ.
as the dog goes crazy.
Kids are ruining your mind.
I love it though, because now every time the word fuck comes up, I'm almost, that's just fuck. No, Jen can definitely be smoking when she wants to be, but she's more the girl next door. Well, Angelina Jolie is like the temptress.
Yeah.
You
She's
know?
one that breaks up families and shit.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But so here's what I thought was weird. They're legally divorced.
Okay.
It took a couple years for that. So I think they got their divorce was final in 2018. However, they are still fighting custody battles. They started their divorce proceedings in 16.
So
5 years later,
So what's the battle over? Like
who gets
the kids are going to be 18.
Well, here's
before
what. So
the
I'm
fucking
reading, and
divorce
I'm like,
ends.
okay, let's figure out how old these kids are. So Maddox is 19, Pax is 17, Zara is 16, Shiloh is 15, Vivian is 12, and Knox is 12.
Why don't they have a kid named fucking like Steve or Sarah?
Because that's not what stars name their kids.
Fucking
They name them
hate
like
people.
Apple and Tuesday and Chocolate.
Those are actually pretty good names.
So here's the thing. So it's like, okay, so the 19-year-old,
Tuesday chocolate.
19-year-old doesn't even matter anymore.
He's like, get fucked. Yep.
The 17-year-old will be 18
He's
this
like,
year.
Dad, can we go to the
Doesn't even
Caribbean
matter
and
this
go
year.
like
The 16-year-old,
hook
I
up
mean, how about you
chips?
ask the kids at this age, the 16 and the 12-year-olds, where do you want to live?
So it's not about money.
No, they've already figured that piece out.
Right.
This is just custody.
So custody of a 19-year-old, that doesn't exist.
Well, no, the 19-year-old is out. It's the 17, the 16, and the two 12-year-olds that are trying to figure out. 17 years going to be 18 before they figure it out.
Don't they just say, fuck you, mom or dad? And be
Well,
like,
that's what I'm
just gonna
saying.
live
How
here?
about you just, which one, do you want to live with both of them? Do you want to take turns? Do you want to live with one? Do you
Like,
hate the, you know?
Go ask the kids because you have the richest parents on the
Well,
planet.
and they're people at this point. They're not 5 years old saying,
Right.
Daddy buys me ice cream. I want to live
This is
with
just
him.
a bigger dick contest, probably.
Well, here's the thing. Here's why it's brought up. So I guess when you're really rich and famous,
Yeah.
you hire a private judge.
It's a magistrate.
This one was a retired judge that they hired.
They work as a magistrate, basically. It's kind of like
They
like
call-
what you went through with when you went through your divorce.
No, he was a real judge.
Really?
Yes.
You went to court?
I went to court.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes they'll just have like somebody that's in between.
No,
It's
this
just
one
like,
went to court.
oh.
Most divorces go to court.
I don't think they have to though. As long as you're
As long as they sign the paperwork. But mine didn't.
your dickhead
Yeah.
ex-husband didn't go to court.
Remember, I had to serve him just even to have him sign for the paperwork to be served.
Fun side story. That motherfucker never took you off the goddamn for like 10 years. And we find out we're in Colorado, like all this shit.
They're like,
hey, the Corvette notes due.
no, he
You're
wanted
like,
to,
Corvette?
He wanted to sell it, but they needed my permission to sell it because he never got the loan in his own name.
Don't be an
Loser.
asshole.
Judge, I can't even say his last name. Here's the funny thing: Order Kirk, is the judge who married them. He's also the judge that divorced them and is figuring out the child custody. But he got taken off, like whatever, because I think
he's like best friends with one or the other.
he did some business with Brad Pitt somewhere. Like their companies did business somewhere, so now it's unethical.
Yeah, it was unethical in the fucking beginning of the divorce proceedings. Probably.
Who knows? But I was like, I can't believe this shit is still going on.
I don't really give a flying shit about
I don't either. I just thought I was like, they're still trying to figure out custody.
They're both
5 years later.
bajillion heirs.
How about you just do shared custody? Nobody pays anybody.
Yeah, like go to mom's house.
Yeah.
I'm going to the bar.
I got
In
a hot date tonight.
Belize.
I got a hot date tonight.
For
I'm
a
flying her to
month.
Paris, so you go to your mom's.
Yeah. Mom's like, hey, I need to get fucked in Paris and go to the bar.
She is.
Dad's like,
I didn't
I'm gonna be on the boat.
realize they were such an age difference. Like,
How old is she?
she's 40.
He's
what
like
is it?
50s, right?
She's 46 and he's 57.
Is he really 57? He's
Yeah.
almost 60 years old. That motherfucker.
I mean, he still looks pretty. I mean, he's not as.
He looks pretty goddamn.
He looks
it's
pretty
Brad.
good.
He's
I don't like
always-
long hair, and
So
he's
the
always
thing
got
is,
long
he's
hair.
always going to
lately.
be Brad Pitt, and he's going to be like Robert Redford.
Yes.
He's Robert Redford's
Yes.
like biological younger.
Well, because
doppelganger
they play
twin.
father and son in a few movies
Yeah.
because they
Yeah,
look so much
come
alike.
on, man.
I mean, I
Good
wouldn't
point.
kick him out of bed if he was like, "Hey, baby, what's up?" I'd be like, "Yo, Brad Pitt."
I wouldn't kick Angelina Jolie out of bed.
I
for
wouldn't
being
kick her out of bed
46
either. Well, yeah, I wouldn't either because she's younger than me. And
That's
hotter
what I'm
than
saying.
me.
I'm like,
I mean, I'd be
oh,
like,
yeah.
"You want a piece of me? Let's go." Not really, maybe. I was really drunk, maybe.
What?
I was really drunk.
Angelina Jolie. I don't give a fuck if she looks like Skeletor.
No, but
Right? Literally, I don't give a fuck if she hasn't eaten in like 3 weeks. You're good. It's still Angelina Jolie.
She's so skinny sometimes. It's all right. Hey, to each their own.
To each their own. Okay, so this is an add-on.
This is
I
an
was
add-on.
looking at I was just like trying to figure out like where followers come through. Do you guys get picked? So this isn't in your notes.
Okay.
So Instagram followers, I get followed by like 1 million weed companies.
Do you really?
I don't understand why I get followed by weed companies.
Do you not make them ask you permission?
No, they have to. Yeah, like no, not to follow me. Anybody can follow me.
No, I make
but I
people
don't
ask for
follow
permission.
Pete. I don't follow back.
I have to give people approval because
But why
you
the
get weird
weed
shit
companies?
like that.
I don't
started
understand.
doing that when I started getting all the titty girls. And I was
You
like,
got
yeah,
titty girls?
yeah,
I can get titty girl.
you do too.
Do I?
And then you're like, they're bots, is what you say they are.
Well, there's bots, but these are like actual dudes that are like selling weed. But it's just weed, and I'm like,
Do they not
but
know
I
you're in
don't- I-
Texas and it's not legal?
but I've never like actually followed a weed company.
Maybe they're gearing up for when it becomes legal in Texas.
I don't know. But I've never followed a weed company. I'm like, what's the big deal with all these? Why am I getting hit with all these? I don't know.
A weed commercial at some point.
I don't think so. Like, I don't even smoke weed, obviously, because it's illegal here in Texas, right? We don't do anything like that. Yeah,
We never do.
Of course
anything illegal.
right.
Perfect citizens.
Fuck yeah.
I don't speed
No,
either.
legitimately, like I don't. It's been years
Yeah, since I had my
because
panic attack.
I can't do it.
Since I had my panic attack.
Yeah.
You smoked. The last time you smoked weed, you fell asleep 15 minutes later.
Yeah.
After you like
In
laughed
Colorado.
and picked out and then crashed, and I was like, well, that worked out well.
I don't know. It's just an intro. Spider-Man's dick. Can I see your?
I'm sorry.
Spider-Man is
I
a.
thought you said Spider-Man's dick.
Spider-Man
I was like-
is a dick. So this is a late breaking news story.
Breaking news.
And I'm
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
hoping-
That kind of late breaking news.
All right, so I'm just gonna show a couple pictures. Really key. Come on. This. Maybe not.
I'm catching up on something. Nico was like, Beth announced she was going to save the world at her quinceanera.
At her quinceanera.
I would if I would have had one, but I'm not Catholic, so I didn't have one.
No, she's Presbyterian.
Presbyterian.
All right.
Instead,
so
I went to I forget what the
there was a
cotillion.
little. This is like late breaking news, right? So there was a little brawl in at a fucking Walmart, of course.
Imagine that.
Because why wouldn't it be? And I don't know anything more about this than just what's going to be on screen here. Is you're going to see a dude in a wheelchair. Let me rewind this real quick. There's a dude in a wheelchair fighting with a whole bunch of dudes, and fucking Spider-Man is there, right? And Spider-Man literally just kicked the lady and straight up punched her in the fucking face.
Why did you call him a dick or something?
And
Oh, dude, he didn't. Like, he knocked her the fuck out.
she got knocked the fuck out. This is late breaking news. Spider-Man's an asshole. All right?
Where was
So
this? Does
I'm
it
gonna-
say?
I'm going to get back to that here in 1 second. Here we go. So, 5 people have been arrested after a brawl involving Spider-Man costume. Well, it was Spider-Man. It wasn't just a costume. It was Spider-Man. Out in Clapham Junction, Asta. I don't know where the fuck this is. It's probably like. Oh, it's London of all the places. London.
It was in London.
It was London.
That's not surprising.
I can't speak that way, but no, I'm like, so it's just like breaking news. That's all I got for that. That's it.
Stupid.
Spider-Man's a dick.
Spider-Man's. It's just you wanted to make your
See,
case.
literally, it was a write-in.
Spider-Man's a dick.
I literally wrote Spider-Man's a dick. So if you guys need it, just go that way.
Where'd you find that video? On?
It was on insider.com. I don't know.
Oh,
I
funny.
Google fucking random like weird news. That's how I find
That's
some
that could be
stories.
dangerous.
Yeah, that's how I find stories.
Okay.
Wait till you see this one about these snakes coming up a little bit.
Oh, why?
Oh yes. So we're going to. Hey, Tom's. If you guys. All right.
Do I know him?
You would if you went Tom Segura, however you say his name.
Segura.
I went down a rabbit hole
Segura.
of Tom Segura, and I just started watching YouTube, like 5-minute YouTube clips of Tom Segura,
Were you laughing?
and that motherfucker will make you like laugh out loud.
Pee your pants.
And he uses the word retarded all the time, and I love it. The reason being
That's so.
is because it's just one of those things. It's like he's just a normal human being.
I'm trying to remember
he
who
doesn't-
we were
he's
with
like,
when I said
comedy is
retarded.
comedy.
They're like, you can't say that anymore. I'm like, I just said it, so
Yeah,
apparently I
fuck off.
still can.
Right? It's like we're not talking about your kid,
I'm talking
or
about
your
you
husband, or,
or
your
the
mom.
situation.
Like it's the situation, right? Or I'm talking about myself. Like I was fucking retarded, right? It's totally okay. But we need to bring that word back. Why not?
You're not talking about a person with Down syndrome.
Yeah, there's no like we're not attacking any children. Ian and I had a 20-minute conversation about this last night.
That does not surprise
No,
me.
absolutely, because it's all about context, right? So we're going to see him here in San Antonio. He just released like this fucking monster 2-leg tour.
I didn't
Like,
realize it wasn't until January, until today, though, when you said that. I thought it was like August.
one of
or
his
September.
first shows is at Hampton Beach Casino Ballroom at the beach.
Oh,
That little fucking place.
funny,
2
that I've never
nights.
been in.
2 nights. Dude, I've only been there a handful of times. 2 nights at Hampton Beach.
It's because you New Englanders are crazy.
Come the fuck on. I mean, like, I think like a few hundred people can fit in that fucking thing. So, you guys, go check it out. It's going to be, I think it's going to be fun. I hope it's going to be fun because we're in the second leg of the tour. So I'm hoping, and it's at the
Worked
Majestic.
it out. Oh, the Majestic is beautiful too.
So that's what you said. Maybe they start recording some, and I bet you they record some in bits and pieces and maybe put it together for.
And it's almost like a double date.
Yeah, we're going with Ian and his wife,
Molly.
Molly. Yep. So it's going to be fucking fun.
It'll be
If you
good
can,
times.
Tickets are a little, but we had to figure out some tickets. But if they're out, I think
Yeah,
Ian
because
said
Ian
he
got
got
him
them
like
got 'em for,
$25 cheaper than us.
Yeah, we got them for like 112 a piece, whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad, but we're on the bottom.
It's not like when we went and saw Kevin Hart and we're like on the 20th story
literally
in nosebleed.
Yeah, and they
I was like,
still,
look, you can see him.
and I
Squish
think
your
they were
head, squish your
virtually the
head.
same price.
No, they were a little cheaper.
Were they?
Yeah.
But we were literally like 6 rows.
The really
6
good
rows
ones
down
were
from
almost
the-
like $200. Those ones I think were like $60 or $70. And I was like, well, we're going to go 60, 70.
All right, you're next.
Yeah. So
this one's funny.
this made me think of you because last week we were actually talking about
The Olympics.
the Olympics and skateboarding is there.
So
And it's a whole article on skateboard lingo.
Yep.
And it's kind of cute because it makes sense. They're like, as Olympians, you're from all over. And while you can't speak the same language and understand
you know
each
the
other,
same names
you know the
for
same
tricks.
names of tricks and what it is, regardless of.
Like a
So here's the
360
thing I
flip
was thinking. So
or-
do they still call it an ollie if it's in French? Or I don't.
an ollie is just basically like where you
Yeah.
pop your skateboard
Yeah.
up.
And there's a
jump.
nollie.
A nollie's off your front.
Look at you. I wanted to
What
see.
do you
how
mean?
many
Look at
these-
me. Like
wanted
I
to
know
see how many
every
of these
single
you
term
knew.
on
Well,
there.
I don't
guarantee.
know any of them.
Ollie's like when you're riding forward and you pop off your front, like
Right.
at the nose of your board.
Right. But they were saying that it just really how they come up with these names is literally somebody will do something and they'll go, okay, what are we gonna call it? And
Well,
then
that's like anything, right?
but then that person who
so-
did it can name it and then it sticks. But do
Yeah.
they call it something different? Like I
And
guess
the names of things change over time.
Caballero
Caballero.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a 360 rotated backwards.
Yeah.
Named after Steve.
Caballero.
Is it
who
still?
rode with?
Well, that's a name.
Who rode
So,
on the Bones Brigade?
like an ollie? I guess is the name. Are they all like somebody's name
No,
or?
like an ollie.
Because
is
then
an
I
ollie.
was thinking in different languages are they
I
different?
don't know about the different language
names,
part,
like,
but I mean,
I'm just gonna say this. Like in English, it's an ollie, but what is it in French? Is it still an ollie?
I don't know.
I'm sure it's an ollie because it's a name, but that's what I was. But
But like a 360 flip, maybe like they call it like it's gone through like, and a 360 flip's like a street skating. It's like
right.
your board does a kick flip while doing a 360-degree spin, right? And that used to be called like it's a 360 flip, but it was what the fuck was it originally called? Fuck, like a tray flip. It's gone through like a bunch of different names, right?
Iterations.
Yeah, iterations and stuff like that. Like a kick flip's always a kick flip, heel flip's always a heel flip, nollie heel flip, nollie,
So they do go.
yeah.
Okay.
Like things change over time because it compresses the word. It's like anything. It's like English slang, right?
Right.
Where you compress the words down and tricks that maybe like a. I'm just trying to think of something. I don't
So
know.
here, let me give
whatever.
you some names
Yeah.
and maybe So they talk about goofy footed,
Yep, that's the way I ride. So that's where
which
you
is
face
right foot
left.
forward.
Yep, right foot forward, facing left, pushing with your
I
left.
feel
foot.
like I'm goofy footed too then, because if I remember
So-
skating, I remember skating with my right
Yeah,
foot
you
in
are.
front. Yeah.
So in they call it sure foot. Which is the other way.
Regular foot.
Or
is
they
what
call
say
it
in
regular
here.
foot or sure foot. Yeah, left foot forward.
They switch
Switch is riding backwards.
against your
Fakie.
natural preference.
Yeah, you're riding backwards or fakie.
Either way, they'll need stunts that are not okay. So it's just gnarly. Then they have a slide, a grind.
Grinds with your truck, slides with your board.
So they have different slides: a no slide, a tail
So
slide.
you're on your each end. Yep.
Okay.
These are
Three-
for the
The 360 ollie and the 180 ollie,
so 360s. You just jump up, you
spin,
pop up and spin. and
half
180s
spin,
is
full
just like-
spin.
yep.
and then
Who
a
are
bunch
we
of different
teaching with
grabs.
this? Like my dad. My dad actually probably knows.
I
half
didn't
this
know
shit.
any of these.
Really
I knew maybe an ollie because that's pretty
common.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people.
Gleaming the Cube. Go back to Gleaming the Cube and check out
I haven't
Christian
seen it yet.
Slater.
I need to see it. I've
You've
not
never
seen
seen
it.
Gleaming the Cube.
I wasn't.
Jesus Christ.
You were a kid.
It
I
was-
was a teenager.
It's skateboarding's Point Break,
Okay.
right?
So they were just saying that's kind of like that's one of the nice things about you know this sport is that the names are all common, and even though you have
Across-
a total
yeah.
different language, you can make it work. Hey, I'm gonna make you talk for a minute.
Go pee.
I gotta use ladies.
Sean
room.
Penn.
Sean, why do you keep saying it like
Sean Penn, because that's how Jesse says it. Sean Penn. Sean Penn. Sean Penn won't return to the set of Gaslit unless all cast and crew receives COVID vaccinations. So I don't even know. I've got a tag, Bill. You're going to have to figure out oh, I just ripped one out. Nice. There we go. That's how he figured it out. So you're going to have to get rid of those tags, Bill. Sean Penn said he was not going to come back, but I'm like, I don't even know the movie. What is the show Gaslit? Has anybody seen the show Gaslit? Because I have not seen the show Gaslit. Sean Penn will not return to the set of his new show Gaslit until the entire cast and crew have received the COVID vaccinations. The star's representatives confirm to CNN. So Sean Penn's not coming back to Gaslit. Have you ever heard of the show Gaslit? So does it
What is
matter?
it on?
I don't know.
Does it doesn't say?
So let's see. Penn plays
Sorry,
the
guys, we've been drinking for a little while.
role of Attorney General John Mitchell in a political drama,
Maybe
which
our
is like a
friends-
modern day take on Watergate, right? I don't know.
maybe
I'm
our
like,
friends know about it. I'm not into shit like that, so I wouldn't watch it in the first
The
place.
6-year-old star was not satisfied with the vaccination requirements by NBC Universal. So maybe it's on NBC. I don't know. I'm like, he can kind of go away.
Well, is scared. I'm glad I peed because that would have made me pee my pants. He's irrelevant in my books.
He really is.
I mean,
Like-
I can't remember the last time I saw him anything.
John Penn.
And Grant, shh. They listened to the shush. Oh no, they didn't that time. He just is irrelevant to me. I can't remember the. Can you
Yeah.
go? Can you go kill him?
No, they're dogs. They're living beings. We can't kill them live on air. No, we can't do that.
A-holes. They're
Yeah.
lucky they're cute.
Anyway,
so
it's just
he's
one of
like-
those fucking things. Is like, how can
You know what
one
happens
dude,
when you say
like,
Sean Penn?
replaced his ass?
I think about his ex-wife, Robin, whatever her name was.
Right Penn back in the day, and then
Yeah.
she went back to right.
I think about her more than I think about him because she was in The Princess Bride and
Yeah.
she was in all sorts of shit that I watched. And I'm like, Sean Penn? Plus, my dad can't stand him.
Oh yeah. your
You
dad.
say his name, and my dad like goes on a tirade
It's just kind of
about
funny that he's trying to hold up the whole thing, but I'm like, hey,
you could be replaced.
you replace, motherfucker. You don't like it? Like, what are you gonna make? A couple
Well,
million bucks
and
off that?
we're
You're a
gonna
dick.
we're gonna like what he because if
do you
I
guys
heard
think? I don't know.
correctly, it's because of COVID stuff. Like he doesn't want to come back because of COVID vaccinations or what?
Until the entire cast and
Okay,
crew.
so we're gonna
all
talk
the
about
crew,
that. We're gonna talk about that in a little while.
All the crew. It's gonna be the next story. All the crew are vaccinated.
Suck.
My dick.
Yes.
Whatever. Like, because what happens if you have somebody that
Can't. First
Can't.
of all,
they've got their cancer, they've got whatever,
or
They're-
they've got
shit happens.
yeah. I mean, you can't to say that you're not coming back. Okay, well then
There
I'm
was
not
a
going to
story
pay
I
you.
hadn't brought up, and I meant to talk to you about it, but there was it's just like a I think it was a BYU Hawaii, like Brigham Young University
Okay,
Hawaii,
I thought you
of
were
Hawaii.
going to be BYOB.
She
I was
got
like,
$200,000 scholarship to go to that school.
wow.
Well, she was one of a few people. Like it happens, I think it's like 1 in 100,000. They get the flu shot,
Okay.
and then have like there's a particular syndrome that can happen for some people.
Like the eggs or something in it,
Yeah.
right?
And it's not even that. It's just like what it did is it paralyzed her from like the waist down, right? And it's directly attributed to having
flu shot.
the flu shot, right? And it's I can't remember the name of the
Sucks balls.
syndrome, whatever. And her doctor specifically said, like,
No
you
COVID.
should not have,
No COVID.
like, you shouldn't, like,
No
for
more
her
vaccinations for
particularly,
you.
no more of those types of vaccinations, right?
Right.
Well, BYU Hawaii
Said
said,
you can't come.
we're rescinding your, like, unless you get
Oh.
vaccinated, we're
I
rescinding
feel
your.
like that's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
And she's like, well, she goes, I'm going to lose. She's like, it is what it is. I'm not
Some
going
other
to take.
school's going to offer her a full ride
They
scholarship.
offered her to go to mainland BYU or to do something.
Why
alternative.
Hawaii? Is like there's some specific study.
Well, Hawaii's
she
a
wanted?
pile of shit.
Well,
so,
is there a specific study
it's not.
she
It's
wanted?
beautiful
So
and it's
like,
amazing.
there's Texas A&M, College Station. There's Texas A&M, Corpus Christi.
So there's alternative.
Corpus Christi has a phenomenal nursing program that
I don't know.
College
She
Station
just wanted to go to
doesn't have.
Hawaii and be at BYU Hawaii, right? And I think it's just they're so strict about it. Like you have to have, you can have your COVID vaccine, and then you have to have a negative test within 3 days of
Going
flying.
there.
And then you
That's
have
a
to,
lot of places though, because like we were talking
I
about
don't know.
Costa
I mean,
Rica.
Costa
Rica, you don't have to have the vaccination to get in. You can be there the whole time. You have to get tested negative to come back to the States.
Right. So we're going to Costa Rica.
And it costs, but it's out of your pocket.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't either.
So we're going to Costa Rica and surf.
I'm not surfing. There's sharks.
There's not. They don't have sharks in Costa Rica.
So I mean,
barracuda.
there's sharks everywhere, babe. There's sharks in Costa
Sure.
Rica.
So anyway, it's
Warm
kind of a
fucking water. So let's keep up a little bit. I know we try to. Hey, Gigi, I just saw her
Gigi's on.
pop up in there.
What's up?
I know we try to stay away from some of this shit because
It's been a few
we get a
weeks
little
since we
passionate.
talked about
but
it.
if you guys, some of you guys may
Those
have
pesky
seen,
Democrats.
You guys may have seen a post I probably did, I don't know, almost 2 weeks ago about all the Democratic
Oh, you mean the Texas Dems jumping on a fucking
and going to Washington
a
so
private
that
plane
they could stop a vote
without
for something everybody, not everybody, most
not
people in
one
the
of them
state want
had
to have
a
happen.
fucking mask on.
Well, they were all vaccinated. That is why.
They didn't have to mask up because they were vaxxed.
They were all vaxxed.
Yeah.
6 of them, and it keeps growing. Every couple days, there's another positive test.
and they met with
6
Vice
of them
President
have been.
Kamala Harris.
6 of them,
Who?
they're all vaccinated. 6 of them have caught COVID.
Right.
I forget what the position was, but whoever was their kind of like tour guide, if you will, which is really funny because the guy that I went to high school with that I said, I can't believe that he's a senator
he get it?
because he's got it.
Nice. He's on billboards here and shit like
Yeah.
that.
But-
What do you think about that dude? Did you like him or not?
I liked him. He was my friend.
He was your friend? Would
He
he be your
was-
friend now? Or you're kind of a cunt?
No, if it
Because he's
came
a
just down to politics and that's all he could evolve his life around, then we wouldn't be friends. But if he was cool and we can go have a beer and talk
Yeah,
about,
because I can have a beer with
shit.
anybody, yeah.
and we could still talk politics, but he just can't tell me I'm wrong, just like I can't tell him
I'll
he's
stab him
wrong.
in his fucking
No,
eye.
No, we're not violent people, babe. But whoever was like their tour guide or showing them and keeping them, that person got COVID.
Okay.
Nancy Pelosi's assistant.
Yeah, her
got
assistant
COVID.
who was never in contact with Kamala Harris. It's all bullshit. The next morning
Vice
at 4 o'clock in the
President,
morning,
what's her name?
Vice President Kamala Harris
Kamala Harris. I almost said
flew to
Pamela.
Bethesda Medical Center. to
She
get
was
her
with them.
Yeah.
And I keep, waiting to see how it's going to, because they were all on a plane together.
APAC.
So they were all on a plane together and none of them were masked and they were within closed confines.
I'm looking for my other shirt. We just did back-to-back shows, so
Oh.
I think I brought it downstairs. Anyway.
So I'm just waiting to see, but here's the thing. I'm sad that they got COVID for them. Whatever.
I don't give a fuck. Like,
Nobody
they're
should
gonna
get
be
COVID.
fine.
Nobody should get COVID.
What
And
do you mean? It's not fucking cancer. It's
no, I mean,
it's a
nobody
cold.
wants to be sick. Just like I don't want anybody to get the flu. You're miserable
the
when you're
vast
sick.
majority of those people
You're still
won't even know they have it.
miserable. Well, and that's kind of, so this is what it got me thinking though. I was like, we keep hearing the Delta virus and it's mostly caused by people who haven't gotten
And
vaccinated.
it's way more.
And it's very,
whatever.
it's way more contagious than the strand, the beta strand and the A strand. And it's mostly the fault of people who haven't been vaccinated. Motherfucker, these 6 people
We're
were
vaccinated.
vaccinated and still giving it to people. So
Suck my dick.
don't talk
Go
about
fuck
unvax-
off.
I went to fucking Vegas. So now I can say it because I'm past my 14-day window. I went to Vegas, ate food, had drinks, played some slots, played some cards.
Didn't wash your hands once.
No, I washed
Literally
my
licked
hands.
the windows in Vegas. Like,
Outside of that, I mean, I lived my life in Vegas. I just had
just
hand
hooking up
sanitizer,
on stage, whatever.
hand sanitizer.
Did you
Hand
use a lot of
washes.
sanitizer?
I did, and I made Steph's
Just, like,
vaccinated, but I
drink
still
it,
was like,
in your eyes.
"Hey, bitch, you just used a nasty ass public pin. Take some
That's
hand
good for you.
sanitizer."
You're always good about
I am.
it. Like even before all this shit, you're like, hey,
That's nasty. Give me your hand.
She's a mom at heart. Like we don't have kids, but she's a mom at heart. Like
I just don't want to get
like
sick.
doing this thing.
I do not do that. No, I don't.
Like motherfucker, like I'm 44 years old. Get out of my eye.
I want to have a dirty face. I'll have a dirty
just
face.
chocolate ice cream.
Chocolate. Then I would lick it. I wouldn't use my thumb. But it got me thinking. So, so we hear about this Delta variant, and we hear about how it's
so I asked you to look
all the
something
unvaccinated
up, right?
people. We hear it's unvaccinated people. It's very contagious.
Yeah.
The whole 50,000 people growth that's happening is all because of the people who are unvaccinated. First I throw out my middle finger.
Or whoever's fault. Whatever.
First I throw out my middle finger because as an unvaccinated person, I have traveled.
Yep.
I have survived. I will survive.
Have you spread?
Hey.
Are you a spreader?
I'm not a spreader. I'm a
closer.
nunner.
Oh, okay. Because you're a normal human being, you're like you don't cough in people's fucking faces, and you wash your hands, and you're like.
Well, and I'm
the normal shit in life that like normal people do.
Like I'll pass pennies up now on the floor, quarters on the floor, because I'm like,
Like you walk over, and you're like,
no, but even I mean, I do at the gym. I mean, I do that at the gym too because each station has its own.
Yeah, just don't wipe my face and stuff.
No, I use my own towel, but when I leave the gym, I spray all the weights that I used.
Yeah, absolutely.
I spray the barbell, I spray the pull-up bar,
Yeah.
I spray the bench. I mean, anything I touched, I spray.
Right.
I mean, shouldn't we all be doing that, whether we're vaxxed or not?
It kind of is like,
especially in a gym.
We
because
always did that. Like
you don't even have to worry. It's not just
it's
COVID.
It's like
you have to worry about in the gym. It's like staph fucking infections.
So I do jujitsu and stuff like that. That is something that can like absolutely fucking
kill you.
COVID could kill you.
Staph infections.
Staph. Like there was a blonde black dude with blonde hair. I can't remember his name anymore. Giant, amazing
basketball player. Thinking what's his name?
Dude, like from back in the day. He had a staph infection in his.
Oh, did it eat his brain?
And it fucking went through his head, and it killed him.
Yeah, I mean, staph infections are serious shit, dude. That's why it cracks me. Like we treat COVID like it's the only bad thing out there. There's so many things worse.
Shit,
so many things worse. But we've always done it just from the stat. Like I even spray. Like if I know that I worked out in this 6x8 area, I spray the 6x8 floor because I'm on the floor sweating.
Yeah,
I don't.
Gigi said her friend told her to just drink lots of booze; it'll kill anything. That's our strategy as well. And I think
that's what I did in Vegas.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of our strategies. Cheers, guys. It's been a bit since we've done a cheers, but no, I mean it really comes back to you go like, all right.
But we did wonder. Hopefully,
smart.
I kept it.
So yeah, it was I asked her to look up of like, okay, what's the reinfection rate for people that have been.
But they don't talk about
vaccinated.
That. Nobody talks about that. People who've been vaccinated are still dying.
Yeah.
They're still dying from COVID.
And I think it's like equally distribution.
It's not.
It's close to.
If you get the vaccination.
But it's only based on what's reported, so we don't know.
Exactly. So supposedly if you get the vaccination, and I don't know anyone who's gotten the vaccination that has gotten sick, so I don't know personally.
And again,
it's like one of the Democrats said, I didn't even know I was sick. Like I maybe had a cough.
Outliers, right? So they call them outliers.
I maybe had a cough, but outside of that, I was asymptomatic. Or asymptomatic. And I'm like, well, you weren't if you had a cough, but okay. Learn the word of what you just said.
So you weren't asymptomatic.
No.
Which means you had a cough.
You had a cough that was due to COVID, that you were in a plane, not wearing a mask.
You cunt.
Oh, I don't use the C word if
All
it's not in
politicians
sex.
are cunts.
I know, but if it's not in sex, I don't use it.
In sex, I'm not. No.
I think it's hot when it's used in, like in my books. I'm like, he said the C word, and that's kind of hot. Yeah. Don't judge me. Not you.
I'm not going to do that.
No.
I would never call you that.
No, you wouldn't call me that. You're calling my body part that.
Oh, I would never do that.
I mean, it depends on how you do it. It might be kind of hot. Anyways.
Jesus Christ, that went sideways real fast.
So how this article I read was this doctor who had already postponed her wedding once, decided to go ahead and get married. So she got married this past July, and 15 vaccinated guests got infected.
It's fucking cake, wasn't it? It was probably the fucking
probably
cake.
The dance floor.
Nope, dance floor? Like just the dance floor? Like because they didn't clean it well enough?
Or no, people are out there dancing and coughing.
No, because there's no way that's going to happen.
They're out of shape and they're breathing hard.
No,
and
they're all vaccinated.
Fiddles or...
So it can't be that. So it's probably the cake.
What?
Maybe the bad champagne.
Anyway,
I'm
so I
going there?
started reading this article, and
Trying
it
to-
said something
Trying
like,
to spin it like a Democrat,
what?
like CNN, fake news.
I don't even know what you're saying. Because you're ruining my story.
Keep going.
Anyways, I'm trying to find. So they were saying, granted, it was just one state they looked at, but like 50,000 vaccinated people in this one state have gotten COVID.
Okay,
4 of them have died, which isn't a lot,
out
but
of 50,000.
but the whole thing that they're saying is that you won't die if you get the vaccination.
Well, no. Okay, so this is the
They're saying it's way less.
So this is the respin.
So they say the success of the vaccine is based on the prevention of illness.
So this is the respin on it, right? So they're respinning this fucking thing to say,
Well, because people who have the virus are getting the Delta version of Corona.
so it's 0.00008
Of what? Of people who have vaccinated or they're getting it?
that are dying.
Oh, no, it's
You said 4 people of 50,000 have been vaccinated.
of this one
Right?
location.
So let's do a percentage. That is literally like
Less than 1%.
100,000 of a people, right? So you go, okay.
But I love how they just try to say they're like, vaccinated people can come down with infections, overwhelmingly asymptomatic or mild.
Yeah, bullshit.
I mean,
But there's still 4 people that died.
yeah.
Whatever.
And,
it doesn't matter.
And 50
get
of them
off
were
the-
still hospitalized. But I just think
So
it's
the
funny because
alternative
we're
is
trying
how
to
many-
scare people. And that's where I get frustrated. Because what I really want is I want a national total of how many people that have been vaccinated have gotten sick anyways and have died and or been
All those
hospitalized
statistics.
and died.
And then non-vaccinated. Because it really is. It's like 49.6%
Of the
United
nation
States
has been
is-
vaccinated.
has been vaccinated, which means 50.4
3. Yeah.
have not. And that is not because of like, it's all in Texas. Dude, I've
No,
Republican...
but where it
it's not
makes
a
me
political
angry is
thing.
that it's blaming the increase on people who have not been vaccinated. And I will tell you that I'm not wearing a mask anywhere I go, but I'm very careful.
Yeah.
And I would think that probably, now there's going to be some people who aren't careful because you're going to have every end of the spectrum. But I would say a lot of unvaccinated people are probably still careful.
Absolutely. 100%. Right? Like but you always have been. Like, it's not like...
No,
like,
I've
if a
always been
motherfucker
like,
came up to you and goes, all in your face,
I would punch a bitch.
I would have punched you fucking
I
4
would
years
have
ago.
punched you in the
Would've
nose.
punched
Yeah.
you 2 years ago, and I'll certainly
Well, and
punch you
I've
today.
accidentally done that to people. Like, I've opened a door talking to somebody, and I turn around, not knowing they're right there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. She probably wanted to punch me in the face. Totally should have.
Nah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, you know?
But if somebody, I'm saying intentionally. Like,
No, absolutely. But
Anyway.
I'm like, come on, man.
oh boy said I'll prefer my antibodies. I agree.
Yeah, well, and that's but that's the new thing that they're saying, that they're blaming people getting the COVID that had the vaccination is the antibodies are already starting to die. And I'm like, motherfucker, the people who didn't get the vaccination.
Well, that's why you're going to have to get the booster.
The people who got
And then
COVID,
Pfizer's going to get another $12
people
billion.
who got COVID for at least 10 months, and the only reason why they're saying 10 months is that's the longest study, still had the fucking antibodies. So why couldn't you still have the antibodies 3 months later from the
You absolutely can.
vaccination? Because really, the antibodies should technically stay in your body your whole life.
Well, they die down
They
until
do, but
until
there's
they're retested. Basically, they got to be pushed.
yeah, but that
Or
article I
booster.
read that talked about people who get COVID have the antibodies for
The
life.
only reason we get the flu every fucking year is because a new strain comes
Right.
out.
Well, and I loved your
I
meme.
Refuse to live by the fact
I
that
think
like
you should have.
COVID every single year is going to have to fucking like. I'm
Well,
gonna
no,
get a
I'm
booster for
fine
COVID.
with
Fuck that.
having to get a
flu shot or something
no,
like
a
that.
vaccination once it's been
It's not a
tested
vaccination.
and tried.
It's not a vaccination. It is a COVID shot. It's just like it's a flu shot.
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm okay with getting a COVID shot and a flu shot, but I want some details. I mean, they're like smallpox was eradicated with their vaccination. I'm like,
You can't eradicate
how
COVID.
long did it take them to get the smallpox vaccine? The smallpox. I've had a few.
It was pretty quick. And the dude actually sold it. He gave it away. I can't remember the dude's name.
And the FDA approved it right away?
This is years. This is
There's
back
probably
before
no
the FDA.
FDA.
And he gave it away just for all he asked for was the cost of the
Study or something.
study.
Yeah.
It was $9,000.
Well, that's because he
Yeah.
didn't care. He was
No,
probably
he was an actual
doctor.
fucking doctor.
yeah.
Right? And he gave it away for free to save humanity. Now, what are we doing? We're giving fucking Pfizer and
Pharmaceuticals and
Johnson Johnson and all the other.
So I'll get off my
billions.
horse and I'll let us move on. But
We'll revisit this in a few weeks.
I think it's hilarious that
Delta
people
is
who skipped
turned
out their
into-
job that should be fired got COVID, fully vaccinated, and I feel like the number's going to grow. And they still don't know when they're going to come back, because now there is now. Granted, it's not
there's, like-
criminal. It's civil. They have
They can literally, when they get back to the
they
States.
can arrest them. They have
when they
warrants
get back
out for
to the-
their arrest.
Yeah, when they get back to the United States, or to the United States, but to Texas, they can
I almost said
literally.
America.
They
They can wait for them at the plane and arrest.
they
all
will
of them.
literally bring them straight to the Texas house, whatever it's called, in Austin,
state
Capitol, and they will detain them there. They just have to be in the building. Doesn't matter anything else. And
Well, here's where I got confused, because the thing that they don't want to have happen is the voting changes. I could have sworn I read something there was still enough of a quorum to still pass that.
there's just enough that there isn't. Something like
Wait.
it's like one or two. Like literally, I would be like,
and here's the
send
thing.
Texas Rangers up there,
But
federalize those
you
motherfuckers.
can't because it's not criminal, so you can't make them come back. It's civil. But here's the thing. So
COVID.
one Democrat did come back, and his peers are like tearing him apart.
Fuck
But
all.
he was like, I want to come back and I want to start working together on this
good for
versus
that person.
leaving and
Yeah.
just letting it sit there. And I was like, you go, bro.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck if you're a Democrat or Republican. Do your fucking job.
We'd get fired. We would get fired.
All right, let's jump in. All right. 2021 best cities for hipsters. Got to be Austin, number one, right? Austin. It's got to be number one.
Well,
Or it's Portland,
hold.
because you know how
Hold.
Portland is. Or
Hold.
Seattle.
How about you just let me talk about it? So, a study was done by
The hipsters of the U.S.
Lawn Starter. I've never heard of them before, but they ranked the 2021 best
2,000
cities
people.
for hipsters by comparing. They didn't do by people; they did by states. The 150 biggest U.S. cities, based on 23 anti-mainstream factors, which is kind of hilarious. Anti-mainstream.
Okay, anti-mainstream. What are those factors? Does it say?
Well, it says anti-mainstream factors from
Like going out to eat? You're just gonna sit-
access to thrift stores, farmers market, record stores, and urban gardening. So going anywhere besides the norm. Like I don't go to the store to get my fruit and veggies. I go to a farmer's market, and I don't.
Oh my God.
I don't download iTunes. I go buy a record.
I go get a record because I like.
I don't buy new clothes.
like
I go find cool
vinyl.
clothes, which I kind of like to do that sometimes, but I don't
I mean,
really because
I like other people's old worn out shit.
Which there's nothing wrong because there are some. You can get some fucking good finds. I'm not talking about Goodwill. I'm talking about literal thrift stores, like the one I went to in
There was
Colorado
one in
Springs.
Phoenix.
There's one in Colorado Springs right by that seafood
Tempe's got a
restaurant we
good one.
liked.
I can't remember the
there are
fucking name.
some that are pretty amazing. So
Half the shit in there was more expensive than when you go to the goddamn store because
absolutely,
they're actually
Well-
like, well, you can't buy these jeans
no,
anymore.
they're
because they're
high-end
not-
jeans
yeah.
that are $300 at the department store that are now just $100 at
no.
the thrift store.
On top of that, they're like, no, these are collectors
Collector items.
because you can't buy them anymore because they don't make that style.
So who did you think was number one?
I said Austin, of course.
No, San Francisco.
Yeah, they come with like poops like on your legs.
I'm just going to
and
go
stuff
over
like
the first. So some of these I was kind of surprised by. I'm
that.
going to go over the
Hipster, fucking, of course it's San
Top 10.
Francisco.
top 10. I'm just going to go top 10. San Francisco number 1, Portland, Oregon number 2,
Shithole.
which I'm
Shithole.
like Oakland, California,
Shithole.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida,
Now.
Jersey City, New Jersey.
Gross.
Is that where the boardwalk is at?
Gross.
Is that where the boardwalk's
Yeah.
at? I want to go there though.
It's also gross.
Tempe, Arizona.
That's
a college
Tempe.
town.
That's
It's a college
that's
town.
Arizona State.
Yeah, it's a college town.
Yeah.
I would have thought that
It's not
though,
true, because you gotta
not
be-
Jerome, but
it's
where did we go
hipster.
skiing?
But you also have to have money to live in there now.
Well, yeah, but where did we go skiing?
Breckenridge?
No, in Arizona.
Snowball. Flagstaff.
Flagstaff. I would have thought Flagstaff before Tempe.
No,
They have-
Flagstaff is
They have
silly
an
expensive,
AU
yeah.
there, you know. Huntington Beach, Honolulu, Providence, New Orleans.
Providence.
Yeah, Providence, Rhode
Like
Island.
7 people live in Providence, Rhode Island.
So here's the thing. So you thought, let me go.
Was Austin not even considered?
All the Texas states were in the bottom 5.
Yeah, that's why. It's because who was the fuckhead that was writing that article? I'd be curious to know.
No, I mean,
They
because
probably-
Austin used to be number one.
Yeah. See,
But now they're saying
because you
it's not hipper in Texas. If you prefer to stick to the rivers and lakes that you're used to, head on over to Texas. 5 of our bottom 10 cities hail from the Lone Star State, including Fort Worth at number 142, Corpus Christi at 143, El Paso 146, Laredo at 140. Laredo's not
they're
hipster.
like, go to El
Um,
Paso. It's very
147,
hipster.
Amarillo dead last, which is all ranch country, by the way. Finished dead last.
Gigi did. Taylor Swift has a place in Rhode Island. I'm not
Who said
against Gigi. Taylor Swift has
I
a
don't
place.
like Taylor Swift. I want to punch that girl in the face.
Why? She's like 25 and she's a
She's
billionaire.
older than that, but
She's
I
like
just
37. I just don't remember.
you know me with first impressions. I'm like, that girl's fake as fuck. She ain't that nice when the door's closed.
You know what?
I don't know her personally, and I could be 100% wrong, but
Hipster.
so
That hipster life.
Austin once popular amongst hipsters, but now a yuppie and tech hotbed. That's why it's not hipster cool anymore.
It's not because they can't afford to fucking live there.
Well, because
No, you can. You just go under a bridge, like every.
what is a
like,
hipster exactly though? Like there's
you
other people. They
grow a
said
beard.
the beard.
And you have like a man bun. So I can't. I don't qualify.
Oh, I don't like.
Like you have to have a man bun.
I mean, there are
And then you wear,
very
like,
few people.
Flannels.
I like man
You wear
buns
like
on,
a super skinny. This is the guys version.
and they're usually the
super-
big bulky muscle guys that I like the man buns
yeah.
on.
Okay. So they've got Jason Momoa is your dude, right? Like that, or one of your dudes. Right?
Yes.
Like, but like super
Very few
skinny,
people
like,
that I like.
No muscle
hair.
to them.
No, they're skinny,
Like a
and
slight,
they wear skinny jeans.
like a slight belly,
They wear skinny jeans.
right? Just
No,
a slight
can't-
belly.
I can't do a dude in skinny.
Right?
I mean, I can't
And
do
then
any
they
dude
just
besides
drink
you, but I can't
Shit
do
tons
dude in
of
skinny
soy
jeans.
mocha chino.
So they're getting boobs, is what you're saying. So, so it does
It is
say,
what it
bottom line, you're
They
still
don't do a
likely
lot
to,
of steak, and they
still- bottom line, you're still likely to find far more cowboy hats and fedoras in Texas, and vintage clothes more often means well-worn jeans. So yeah, I mean, in Texas, there aren't a lot of hipsters anymore. You're either a techie or you're a cowboy.
What am I?
You're more cowboy than anything at this point. You like your boots. This isn't tech. This is production.
Like we have $10,000 worth, or $20,000, whatever it is.
You're a midster. You're mid-tech, mid-cowboy. You're a
I'm a
techie
mixer.
cowboy.
I'm a tech cowboy.
You're a tech cowboy,
Hey,
baby.
Julia, get on that tech cowboy.
Tech cowboy.
I need a new graphic for that
You sure?
to send her.
What is it gonna be? A cell phone with a cowboy hat on?
A cell phone with a
Mhm.
cowboy hat on it?
Yeah.
The fuck? It's date night tonight. We're gonna skip that last story for now. A feel good seagull girl for Beth.
Oh,
All right, so this one's good. So you got it.
I do.
So if you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen this one. We'll save that next story for the next time.
Oh, because you want to get to our date
we
night.
got date night tonight. We got a big date night. Date night. We haven't had a date night in a while.
Mm-mm.
Like just you and I.
Just you and I.
Isn't there a song about
we
that? I was
can
trying to
make
think.
the
Yeah, that's what I
night
was trying to think. And
the
then it
two of
just
us.
went out my eye.
I don't know if they say you and I, but they do definitely say the two of us.
Just
we
the
can make
two
it if we
of
try.
us.
Just the two of us. Okay, so seagull flies into girl's face at 75 miles per hour on amusement park
Have you guys
ride.
seen this thing?
Let me get there first. Hold on, it's thinking.
So it's a slingshot.
It's somebody's birthday.
So it's one of the girls. It's a slingshot ride, right? And it goes. It's one of those ones where they like pull it down and you get in, and the fucking thing launches you up. This girl. So is it good?
This is why it's my feel good
Can you hit
because
play?
yeah, give me a
Or
second.
hit
Hold on.
pause,
It's
whatever. Get it going. The funny part is, I found this
All right.
video before you do. Hit pause real quick.
I haven't hit play yet.
Okay.
Okay.
I found it, and it was on CNN, and whoever the person was kind of commentating
You
over
didn't
it
do
was
this
like,
to me earlier.
this girl took it on the chin like a champ, and I'm like, isn't that like a sexual thing?
No,
Like,
I mean
put
she
on the
got hit
chin.
in the face.
All right, you good?
Hold on, no, because
Come on,
I was
man.
trying to the Twitter video is kind of funny because it shows a little bit longer and her reaction after the incident.
Yeah, because she's
but
like, I
it's-
can't wait to see this fucking thing.
But it's telling me log in for some reason. I'm like, bitch, you let me play it earlier.
I got it.
The Twitter one?
I've got the Twitter.
Okay. Because it's better than the regular
Give
one.
me your clicker, clacker. All right, sorry guys, we have to
I probably should re-download Twitter because I keep getting stopped at the border.
All right. So it starts basically instantly. All right. so here we go. She gets smacked in the face with a goddamn flying chicken.
Can't see it.
It already
Oh,
happened.
there it is.
Right? So we'll go back to the beginning.
And then she goes, oh,
Boom!
that was a bird.
75 miles an hour. She just goes.
Well, because it flies into her, and it's like literally spread
like,
wings.
I felt its neck on my
Its
neck.
beak in my neck.
Yeah.
And she just grabs both wings and or the body, and she
just goes like
kicks
this.
it, and the bird flies and then flies around her. But the funny part of that was when it was done, she's like, that was a bird.
And her friend was telling her to stop talking. She's like, did you just see that fucking bird? And the girl's going, I was going to throw up. I thought her friend was like, I was going to throw up. So I couldn't talk to her. And I was telling her to stop talking. She's like, did you just see the bird flying? She's like, as they come down, she's like, I can't wait to see that fucking video. It was hilarious. So
that was my feel good because it made me chuckle.
Absolutely. So
she did handle it like a champ,
She
too.
did, dude. And she didn't completely.
Here's the thing that I was like, ooh, birds are so dirty. Gross. Go wash your hands. Back to the sanitizer.
She didn't completely panic or freak the fuck out. Mine, it's interesting that you found that one as your feel good for the day because mine was very similar, right? So you'll see this guy here on the screen, Seagull, who bonded with Captain, who saved her, now has a mate. So this Seagull, they've been together. This Seagull, he's a lobster fisherman out in Maine.
Okay.
Right? And he's been doing it for years and years and years. But all of a sudden, one day, this particular seagull landed on his boat.
How do you know it's the same seagull over and over and over again?
Because it's got a spot.
Oh. Kind of
Right?
like the scars on the shark.
For 15 years, this seagull has been coming to his boat every day as he goes out.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Right? So he said she's been... So basically the story is he calls her Red Eye, right? And it's this story. This is right when she's getting released. So this is why it's
not released. She's getting ready to take off.
No, she's getting released, and I'll tell you why. So Red Eye Mikowski and Red Eye, that's Mr. Mikowski, whatever, John Mikowski, and Red Eye first met in 2005 when the bird showed up one day on his boat in the Gulf of Maine. Red Eye had been a faithful companion for 15 years as he pulled lobster traps. So this is on CNN, I think it's on CNN. Yeah, CNN's page, CBS page.
Yeah,
how hard was it for? So this is what happened. So his buddy bird showed up and literally started pecking the window and was standing on one leg.
The first time?
No.
Oh, this time.
This recent time.
Okay.
Right, and started pecking on
help.
Yeah. Right. So he was able to capture her.
So she's not that afraid
of him. She had
a
messed up leg. Something had happened to her leg. So he captured her by putting a blanket over her or whatever and brought her to a vet, like a rehabilitation place.
Bird place.
Within 3 weeks, she was back to good. He brought her out. And this is literally as she's coming out of the pen
and she's
of the cage.
Getting ready to not necessarily be free, but yeah.
And then now, so this is a couple of months ago this happened. So, and then now she's got a mate.
A boyfriend?
She's got a boyfriend.
And he comes with her?
Yep. It was cool as shit,
I wonder
right?
if he feeds them or
No, he does. He feeds her mackerel or whatever.
I was like, do they eat birdseed?
No, they eat fish. But I thought it was cool as shit. It's
cool.
just one of those things. It's like.
So it's cute because my other feel good I was thinking about that you say that is, did you see the story about the geese? So there was a pair of geese because geese mate for life.
Yeah.
And the male, they one day came across the pair, and the male geese was limping.
Okay.
And couldn't really use its legs, so it kept falling over. So they took him to the wild place where the wild
like a
sanctuary rehab
yeah,
thing, and they got him there, and they were examining, and all of a sudden they started hearing pecking on the window.
Oh, is his boyfriend or girlfriend?
The girlfriend, his mate was like, what are you doing to my man?
That's awesome as shit.
And she stayed there through the whole surgery because they did have to end up doing surgery and amputating a toe.
I just remember seeing a glimpse of this in the news.
They put him down and they put him down by a sliding glass door and opened it, and she came up and was
checking on
started
her husband.
grooming him, and you could tell he was grown. He was like, bitch, I just got out of anesthesia. He moves his head, but they're sharing food out of a bowl. And then when he gets put up, she goes and eats in the grass and then goes to the water.
That's
but
cool as shit.
Right back the next day. So it's kind of cute.
That's awesome. So entertainment real quick.
Oh, are you going to cry?
Why?
Because you're done.
No, he's gonna write more.
Okay.
So I just finished Jack Carr's last book, the Audible. I listened to the Audible. Audible is good. It was a challenging one.
Your audibles, do they do different people for the characters, or is it the
No,
same?
Like for this one, it is like it's not like Ross Patterson's
Had different people. That's why I was asking.
That's a unique.
Okay, because the ones I've tried to listen to, I'm like, that's the same person. I don't want some bitch doing a boy's name.
No, like
boy's voice.
Like that's a unique one. Like where you have actual actors come in.
That's some
like,
of his. That's some of the benefit of Ross Patterson.
That's a unique one. But this one, the dude is good. He's great. Like the dude is speaking on Audible. So it was The Devil's Hand. I just finished it. It was 14 hours long. It was fucking good.
I would never make it through something 14
hours. It took
hours.
me a long time of just like,
I don't have that
I listen
kind of
to
dedication.
it in my car when I'm just driving here and there.
I don't.
Or when
you
I'm
got
like
2 days for me
working
in the
or
book.
whatever. Yeah, and that's a like 1.5 speed.
Oh, that's 14 hours was 1.5?
Like doing
Nope.
yeah. So
Nope.
it were really the story is really, really good. So we'll do your sexy book update next time.
That's all right.
With that, hey, Saturday, keep an eye out. I mentioned this at the beginning of the show. The reason we were running a little bit late is because we were recording the Married Life episodes. So we'll be dropping those in a few weeks.
Today was fun.
Today was fun as shit. So go out and tell your own story. Hey, also go hit the like and subscribe if you don't mind. Write a little review on the iTunes.
Please.
Yep.
Please, not please.
You'll be a better
Please.
person for it, basically. I mean, right? I think you are.
Amen. I think you're all fantastic either
We
way.
love y'all.
But
Anyway, go make fire. Ian, come get a beer.
After
We're
we
probably
go to
not
dinner.
going to want to.
after our
We
date
stayed
night.
up really late last night.
Yeah, you did.
But thanks to all the military, first responders. Without you guys, we can't do this shit. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Love you guys. Have a great
Love you
rest of your
guys.
weekend.
Have a great
and
week.
we
We'll see you
will
on Wednesday.
catch you